Okay, that was literally your half. You guys, this is the reason we moved to Frankenmuth, Michigan.
These are butterhorns. They are, what's in these things?
I don't even know.
Zehnders Bakery, Frankenmuth, Michigan, butterhorns. So we're trying something new here on Free and Simple, and we're calling it Ask Free and Simple. You get to ask questions, and we'll answer them. If we don't know the answer, we're just going to tell you we don't know the answer and have you help us out in the comments.
Yeah, we don't want to research anything. We're all about lived experience here, and there's not much living of the experience happening due to the babe.
Yeah, notice this is not an Airstream.
And
we got some questions from Airstream that we wanted to answer, so we're going to answer those today.
And we got questions from Airstream as a follow-up from a webinar that we did.
Yes, which is coming in another video, so stay tuned and you'll get to see the whole webinar. If you have questions on anything Free and Simple Airstream related, drop them in the comments or go to our website, freeandsimple.life/ask. That's where you can ask Free and Simple.
so the first question
Let's see what it
is,
What size Globetrotter do you have? We have a 27-foot 2019 Airstream Globetrotter London
Gray.
interior.
She's a beaut. We named her Jolly.
we named the Airstream Jolly. We named the Airstream Jolly. We named the Airstream Jolly. Boom, 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 boom. There's a group of runners over there.
She's a gorge.
That didn't sound right.
How do we utilize the exterior storage compartments? Okay, so Airstreams in general aren't really known for their exterior storage. It's not kind of the thing. The corner bed models and the twin bed models have two storages, which is a little bonus.
I'm pretty sure the camera picked up on that.
That was Whitman meowing. Shh.
Whitman, we're gonna take you out in a little bit.
Dindies.
Ours, which is common for many, we have bumper storage, which is where we put like sewage hose and things that you don't mind getting wet because it will get wet in there. And then we have our, for us it's a front storage, you know, it's the under the bed storage that you can access from outside. And what do we put in there? Wheel chocks, the
X-Chocks.
things we use on a regular basis, water hose. So basically things we need to use for the exterior life of the Airstream.
Yeah.
So we can get them from there.
But it's fine. You have a tiny, like Jim said, a tiny opening in the front and then the tiny bumper opening in the back, which every Airstream has.
Yeah.
But we've never found ourselves wanting more storage, so.
That's all you need.
The next question.
How do you store kitchen utensils and food?
So the kitchen utensils, well, Airstream comes with a little silverware drawer and all of our basic utensils went in there. And then for other utensils, we had a little magnetic knife holder that also attached to it was a little utensil holder where we could put soup spoons and ladles and stuff. Yeah, so that's how we store utensils.
The trick was just to only bring what you need, not your entire, 20,000 foot home kitchen.
Yeah, I think like as we were downsizing, we did realize that we had 2 or 3 soup ladles and 4 spatulas, and we're like, really, you only need one of everything.
Yeah.
So,
Food storage, well, there's a fridge. We would put food in there.
I mean, if we had leftovers, we had a couple glass Pyrex that we used, and we also had some plastic Tupperware. The glass never broke. We always had it in one of the drawers, and it was fine.
And then we had food in the pantry,
Yeah.
kind of to the left of the stove, opens up. So we would fill that whole thing. And that, we never quite got that organization down because it's so deep. We did not quite get to bins inside of that area.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of like, Jim, can you reach in the way back and find a can of black beans?
One of the renovations that we had always talked about doing but never got a chance to do was putting in like a slide out drawer. in that pantry because it is so deep in the Globetrotter. I needed a stool to reach back and get it. So.
I mean, there was the slide-out pantry we put like cereal and stuff in.
Yes.
Which was nice.
But the like top shelf of the cupboard.
Yeah. Warranty and repair issues. Did we ever have any warranty issues or any need for repairs?
We never did. We had a pretty sticky door that we thought maybe was bent out of shape. And I still don't think it was ever closing totally properly.
You had to really slam it to get it to really do the double click?
No, you had to abuse the door to get it to close, I would say. And that on other models of Airstreams I've been in, you just have to give a firm push and it should go click, click. Ours, you had to beat. You had to beat the door to close. So I don't think it was ever quite right.
So that needed some TLC. That's common in Airstreams.
Yeah.
Go to a dealer, they can pound on it and do stuff. It's because the doors are put in and made by hand. So it's not like some factory robot. There might be a little micro adjustment needed.
Maybe people are wondering about your haircut at this point. And
Doesn't it look great, everybody?
it's a quarantine haircut.
Chelsea did it.
It does look better when you just put it forward.
Other repairs we had to do, which if you've watched any of our other videos, you may have seen the one on this with our furnace. We have screwdrivers, we have air, we have a furnace. Let's do this.
The furnace is not covered under Airstream warranty. It is covered under Domedic's warranty, which really was a pain for us to ever. We never found where we could get that fixed, so we did have one furnace repair person out after we tried troubleshooting it ourselves a handful of times.
You want to try to see how many flashes and match the flashes up with this so it can kind of tell you what happened.
Okay. And then on the very last day that we were camping in Michigan,
In freezing weather in the winter.
before quarantine started for coronavirus, our furnace stopped working for a 5th or 6th or 7th time. We don't know. The furnace was our least favorite part about the Airstream.
The trick is to just camp in places that are warm.
Go where we want, avoiding the snow.
That's what we learned. That's what we're doing from now on. Like, we will never. We'll try to avoid below freezing temps at all costs because then you don't need the furnace and it doesn't matter if it's working or not.
Yeah.
So.
How far in advance have you made reservations when full timing?
When full timing, we tried to make reservations at least 4 to 6 months in advance.
Sometimes it would be 1 or 2 months, but we were the kind of people who planned way ahead. We like to have a spreadsheet full of all the places we were going, filled out so we could know our route, know where we were gonna go. And our theory was it was always easier to change plans at the last minute than it is to make plans at the last minute, especially if there's like a thing you really want to see or a certain access you want to have.
Yep.
So that was just us, but we also changed plans at the last minute. Like there was the one time we were going to spend like a week and a half near Lansing, Michigan at a state park, which is where my family is.
Yep.
And we were like, oh, it's going to be electric only, and it's been kind of cold lately. It was last fall. So we were like, ooh, let's find something where we can plug everything in. And not have to walk to the bathhouse. So we found a different place in Jackson, Michigan, and we made that change within like a couple days.
Yeah, but in general, we would pick a destination, divide it up between ideal towing amounts, and then we would, usually in 1 or 2 days, find locations along that route, and just with Google reviews usually, pictures, sometimes Campendium, and then we would book months out.
Here's a question from Sue. I prefer to travel solo and am intimidated by the idea of trying to level the 27-foot Globetrotter on my own. It looks like most people who do this travel as a duo, but that defeats my purpose of trying to enjoy peace and tranquility on my own. What do you recommend?
She also says, I'm a girl and I'm not very mechanical, so can I actually handle this on my own?
Let's say our answer on the count of 3.
1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Totally! You can totally do it. We are absolutely not mechanical. We relied on our landlord in Manhattan for everything before we moved into the Airstream, and once you get past the initial learning curve, which does take some time, I would say you can totally do it. I think if you're planning on like backing into a campsite alone, that would take a lot of practice.
But you can totally do it.
But there are people who do it. There's also an option to get a pull-through site.
And if you ever need help backing in at any kind of publicly filled campground, if you're at like, you know, boondocking in the middle of nowhere, you're on your own, but then backing in is not nearly as much of an issue. But if you're at like any campground, state park, and you need help, there are going to be a dozen people ready and willing to help you in any way you need.
Yeah, it's true. If you ever look like you don't know what you're doing, i.e. Jim and Chelsea for their first 2 months of Airstreaming, your neighbors will flock to your campsite and say, so...
could you use a little help right now?
Yeah, so people are so gracious, and as far as leveling the Airstream goes, that's one of the really easy part. That's so easy to do by yourself because you're gonna back it into your spot, find out where you need to be, and the first thing you do is level
left to right.
Left to right. So we just put in a big leveler in the center of our Airstream.
One of those big 3-foot ones, you know, you see.
And if you need to raise up, you can just put, this is where I would ask someone to help you maybe, because you would put the Lynx levelers in front of your Airstream or behind, and then you need to pull forward, and you can't always feel when the Airstream's lifting.
But you can make that work. Like when I've needed to pull forward like 18 inches, I just literally put it in drive, open the door, and look to my left out the door, and I kind of like look 18 inches forward, and then when I go forward, I've known I've traveled 18 inches.
That's a good tip, yeah.
So it might take a little bit of like but you can totally do it.
But
and then front and back leveling, that's just literally pushing a button on your hitch.
After you unhitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if that's your biggest fear, then Airstreaming is so manageable for you because that should be pretty easy.
What about towing? Can you tow if you're a girl?
Just girl toes. Today we are moving from Cookeville, Tennessee to Marble, North Carolina. Jim sits in the back with Whitman and Wendell, our cats, and I sit in the front and tow like a girl. And it's pretty easy.
Can you provide links to the most important gear you should have?
Yeah, we can.
It's on our website, freeandsimple.life/gear.
You're just making that new page now?
Yeah, I'm making it right now.
So it will be on our website.
Yeah. What's some of the most important gear?
A surge protector, Lynx levelers, X-chocks, wheel chocks.
A copper 90-degree angle thing so your water hose looks nice and pretty when it comes into your city water inlet.
Yeah, I mean all the basic RV stuff, like you gotta have pods for your toilet and RV appropriate teepee and comfy camp chairs.
And some hanging lights to make it look cozy.
Yeah.
Tow mirrors are a definite must.
Tow mirrors, if your vehicle doesn't have them, you can buy extendable ones. Yeah, those are good gear.
And then check the website for everything else, or just watch like all of the other Airstream YouTubers videos because they have great gear lists as well.
That's what we did.
Yeah. Did we ever think about having the convection microwave instead of the oven?
Ours came with a convection microwave and an oven.
But we could have had...
No, we couldn't have.
Really?
I don't think you could have had just one.
I think...
Because we talked about that.
I think it's possible to get it with just the convection instead of the
Instead of the oven?
Yeah.
Oh.
But we didn't want that.
We wanted an oven because we wanted to like bake things, and we did bake things very often.
In which, yes, you can bake things in a convection oven thing, but we wanted to just do it in a way that we were familiar with.
So maybe we're not good at answering that question. I mean, whatever you want your camping experience to be, you could totally do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you would save space if you just had one.
Yeah.
We never used the convection oven, we should also say.
Oh yeah, we
took it out of our Airstream within 30 minutes of being inside our brand new Airstream, along with the TV and DVD player.
We're like, what are we gonna do with this thing?
We literally moved in at a campground 30 minutes outside of our dealer in New Jersey, and we put a brand new TV, a brand new convection microwave, and a DVD player out near the trash.
Yeah.
And people took them.
Yeah.
So you're welcome, everybody. We could have sold them, I guess.
Yeah, Tiny Life didn't have space to sell things.
Yeah.
When you're towing, do you always have to put all your plants and accessories away so nothing falls and breaks?
So one tip we had for this is we bought from Target, I think, or Amazon, these collapsible bins, maybe about this big and this deep. And when we weren't using them, they would collapse down and we could shove them into the space between the bedside table and the bed. So everything that was sitting out for us, like an olive oil carafe, pictures hanging on the walls, plants.
Ukulele came off the wall and just went on the bed.
Yep,
Things that
everything
might
went in a
tumble.
bin.
We met some people who they really didn't want to have to take things down every time. So what they did is they would like wax everything to the space or make it so it literally would not move.
No, they used like Velcro adhesives. They didn't wax it. It would ruin your walls.
Well, whatever they did, their stuff was like immovable.
I think they took 3M Velcro strips and they attached them to both sides for every single thing in their Airstream. You could do that, I guess.
But we didn't want to have our home feel like it was just Velcroed in place.
I mean, also, to be honest, if you're in a super humid place and there is a ton of humidity, our 3M strips were known to fall off the Airstream walls.
Does the fridge actually run and cool while towing?
Yeah, because it runs off of battery.
So some older models of Airstreams, and maybe some that they still make today, I think they're switching them all over. I don't know, someone can answer that officially. They used to be propane or shore power only. Now, at least the Globetrotter for sure, is a 3-way refrigerator, so it can run off of propane, it can run off of shore power, and it can run off of your Airstream's battery. So when you're plugged into your tow vehicle, your battery's being charged by the tow vehicle, albeit not super fast, but fast enough so it doesn't drain your Airstream battery when you're traveling. So we never had to have propane on while we were traveling, and our fridge was always on when we traveled as well.
And the freezer items always kept cold as well.
Yeah. Can you use the awning in the rain, or does it get moldy if you roll it up wet?
So we heard that it could get moldy or mildewy if you rolled it up for too long while it was wet. But there were a couple days when we had non-stop rain for maybe 3 or 4 days, and it's totally fine. Just we always made it a point on the next sunny day to make sure to unroll it and let everything dry. All of our awnings we'd roll out and let them dry, because even when they were rolled up when the rain started, you could still get a little bit of rain in there on the edges or whatnot. So.
And we wouldn't really just keep our awnings out in the rain. I know some people do that and then they sit under it. And if you do, you definitely want to tilt it so it tilts away from your door, so that the water doesn't puddle at your door. You can do that.
Also, so the water doesn't puddle in the middle of your awning and it collapses. That's the real reason, I think.
So you want it tilted so it doesn't do that, but you want it tilted away from the door so it doesn't splash on you.
Correct.
But you can do that. We were just always, I don't know, we didn't, if it was raining, we just sat inside.
Yeah, if it was raining hard, we always brought our awning in, because sometimes heavy rain means heavy wind, and we just always brought it in, and we brought it in from the inside of our dry Airstream with a push of a button.
What's going on?
We're putting the awning out for the first time.
With no hands. That's the perk of the Globetrotter, is the power awning.
The 2 smaller awnings we had in the back of the Airstream and side of the Airstream, we left those up pretty much all the time, unless it was super, super, super windy, like above 20 or 25 miles an hour.
Those aren't nearly as susceptible to getting flailed around in the wind because they're just little guys versus...
Yeah, but if you wanted to, you could totally sit under your awning in the rain as long as it's tilted, and your awning would be completely fine.
Let it dry before you put it in storage. What does Airstream Connected cost to install and per month?
I don't know.
I think it cost us $1,000 to have it installed, I think. And we just knew we needed to do it. We have Airstream Connected on our Globetrotter. We knew we would want the ease of connection. And I think they've changed the payment plans now though. So you gotta just check. It's an unlocked device. You can put any SIM card in you want. So you could technically have whatever SIM card 3G, 4G. You can have whatever phone service you want to give you internet. We used the one that came with it, which was AT&T, and they had a whole deal with their launch that gave it to you for $365. You got unlimited for the year, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
So we did that.
I don't have anything to say about that.
Does the 2020 Globetrotter 25 front bed have an inline tankless water heater or a typical tank? If not, can that be upgraded? I don't know.
We had the 27. It's a
Yeah.
great question. I would assume you could upgrade to anything, but I don't know.
Yeah, what is an inline tankless water heater? A tankless water heater? I think ours had a tank.
Ask your Airstream dealer.
Probably the new ones came with that fancy new thing. I don't know.
Next.
Which cap did you get for your truck? It looks nice.
Thank you, Tony Eacock.
We got the Lear something something truck cap.
It's the newer edition of the Lear.
The Q something something. We'll show you in a second.
Yeah.
You mentioned some system that you use for drawers in the bed. I didn't catch the name. It's the decked drawer system. Okay, let's go show them the truck.
Is that all our questions?
Yeah.
Let's go. Want to see my belly? This is why we're not Airstreaming, peeps.
Okay, so there's our truck. Not that red one, the black one. So we have a Lear truck cap. We got this one because the windows on the side don't open. We didn't want like any sliding. We wanted it all in the back. And then we got the one that gives us a single point of entry. What do we got? These are the decked drawer systems.
You can actually bring those in because the cats have a vet appointment Friday.
But it's great. You just push them in. Even comes with a bottle opener. And Chelsea's brother-in-law and I installed it. We installed the decked system before the truck cap was on. And then we had people at Lear install the thing there. Not at Lear, some Lear dealer. So yeah, that's the thing.
The other thing about the deck system is it does raise your, it takes, what do you say, maybe a foot? 14 inches?
Yeah.
It takes about a foot of your bed. So if you don't have a truck cap, then, which is why we got a truck cap, then you're really working with less than a foot of space on top of that for things, and it just meant it was really, we couldn't fit our Oru kayaks, and it was really hard to just fit things. So with the truck cap, we had tons of space and organization.
So the combo is definitely the way to go for us.
Yeah, it's great for full-time or even part-time.
So thanks for asking us questions.
We hope they were helpful.
If you have other thoughts, you can give maybe your answer below in a comment.
Yep.
And if you have more questions,
We will answer them.
well, we'll try to. Leave them in a comment. Go to freeandsimple.life/ask, and we'll have another episode of Ask Free and Simple, I don't know, in a month or so. Well, actually in a few weeks with the webinar.
Yeah, I think I want another butterhorn.
I think the baby wants a butterhorn.
But seriously, if you're ever in Frankenmuth, Michigan, you need to go to Zehnders Bakery and get butterhorns because these are crack.
Yeah, skip the chicken dinner. Just get the butterhorns.
Oh my god.